Okay, so
Hey,
so this is my bike ride adventure. It was about 1,050 kilometers, 650 miles, and here you can see the whole route. So yeah, it was really amazing. So this is the first day. I left in the morning and I went to Anseong시. My plan was to go to Jungyeongup, I think. But when I got to Ansong, I realized that I forgot my ID card. So I had to just stop. And I took a taxi all the way back to Dongtan, and I found my ID card, and then I took a subway to Cheonan-yeok, and then rode my bicycle to this Jochiwon, which was kind of near Sejong, and that was my first day. And then I rode along the Gumgang. It was really, really beautiful. This is under a bridge, and then there's Gongju, which has this old fortress. It was a beautiful small city with historic things. There's the old kind of Hanok style houses. And then the next day, I went all along the Gumgang, and I went to kind of near Nonsan. That was very beautiful. The Gumgang is very peaceful. It's very quiet. All of those little things that you see in the water there are ducks. So many ducks. And yeah, it was very big roads, very peaceful. And then the next day, I went through the countryside in Jeollanam-do. I guess Jeollabuk-do? Jeollanam-do? I don't know. But I went through the countryside and I saw many things. This is a pavilion that I saw. And nearby this pavilion, there was a business, Xinguang. And this is in Jeonju. There was a bridge there, and the bridge was a natural, very old style bridge, and it bounced up and down when you walked on it. Very old style. And this is a bike shop that I stopped at, and it was, I don't think they ever cleaned it ever. It was just bikes everywhere and junk. And then I went to the Seonjingang, and that was just full of mountains in the river. It was really, really pretty. Yeah, it was very nice there, and very peaceful, very quiet. Usually every day I rode my bike about 60 or 100 kilometers, somewhere between there. And then I would sleep at a really, really cheap motel. Usually as cheap as possible. I'm a single guy, so I really don't care where I sleep. So some of these places were a little bit dirty. So then this day I went to the Yeosu, and the mountains in Jeollanam-do were very beautiful. Very many fruit tree farms. I think Meshir Farms. And then this was dinner. It was kodari, some kind of noodle soup with kodari. It's naengmyeon, but it was made with a different kind of noodle. And then I took the ferry to Jeju. And Jeju surprised me. I had never been to Jeju. very good food. Jeju was very big and spread out. You had to cycle so far to see anything. So I left my bike at the motel and took the bus to see this place, Songsan Ishobong. It was really beautiful, and I could walk along, and I saw some anemone in the tide pools. And then I had the Korean word. It was in English. It is called cutlass fish. It's a very long and thin fish, and I think it's quite famous in Jeju. Very bony. And then yes, galchi. And I went to a piano and car museum. They had very old pianos from even the 1700s, 1800s. Very beautiful. And they had old cars. I think that's a Kia. And yeah. And actually at this museum, I don't have any pictures, but they were sasum outside on the grounds. And the sasum, they were very tame. So they're very used to people. You could go up and even touch them. And one of them came up to me and smelled my hand. It was really cool. And then I got to Busan. I took the ferry in the nighttime, and I came to Busan at 6 a.m. and it was pouring rain. And it was going to rain the entire day. So instead of waiting, I just rode my bike straight to Anyang. And then the next day I went to Gyeongju. And Gyeongju was really beautiful. There's the Woljingyo. Oh, no, Woljongyo. Woljongyo, yeah. Woljong. Yeah, this bridge I loved this bridge. And then the burial mounds were very interesting. And I went to the National Museum, the Gyeongju Museum. And then the next day, I went to Wolpo, which is near Pohang. Very beautiful coastline. The bike path there is really beautiful because you go up and down the little mountains, and the coast, the ocean is very beautiful. And then this was the most difficult day. I went through the mountains between Pohang and Andong. It was the biggest hills I ever did. It's maybe 8 kilometers of just climbing a very big hill. You can show the hill there. All of that for 2 hours. But the scenery was really beautiful. There was even one cliff where I saw snow that was still there from the winter time. And then the next day, I went from Andong to Mungyang. And that was kind of similar to days before. I was tired, but it was good. I took this picture of this man crossing the bridge, and I thought that was a good picture. And then the next day, then I had my last day. I went from Eunseongup to Dongtan. And because I was near home, and I was near many areas that I had ridden my bike before, I knew that I could just go on small countryside roads like this one. And it was very beautiful, and I saw many sights and places. It was really nice. And yeah, this was an Ansongshi. There was a point where I had to ride my bike through the water. In English, we call this a ford crossing. Yeah. And then I finally saw Dongtan and the big bike trip. I was in the countryside just with farmers for almost the entire time. So when I arrived in Idongtan, I was so shocked because there were so many people and so many apate. I was very uncomfortable because I wasn't used to the city, but I'm used to it again. Yeah. Yeah, so that was my trip. It was very exciting, and I got to spend a lot of time alone. It was very healing kind of time. I could listen to worship music and just pray while I was cycling, just thinking about cycling too. But yeah, it was really nice. It helped me prepare my mind for going back home and leaving my school. I think just 2 days before this bike ride, I was teaching in school, and yeah. So this was a really, really special opportunity to go on this bike ride, and it reminded me, it helped me think of what all God has been doing while I have been in Korea this year. This year, God has taught me many things. He's taught me that He loves me no matter what, and that I can't do anything to separate myself from God's love. I can close my eyes and, kind of hide my eyes from the Lord, but He is always there. He is always the same. His love that saved me, that brought me from hell and gave me life, it's always there. And so I can trust in that. And there's a song that we often sing called "The Power of Your Love." It is so true. The power of God's love carries us. It gives us life. It is our life. So, yeah, it's been a blessing being here. I will surely miss Korea so much. I love everything about Korea. And I will miss my friends here and everything in my church for sure. But I have been so blessed, and God has used my time in Korea so much, and I'm very, very blessed.